guys, what's up? Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Brielle, and I've been setting yearly goals for the past several years. And something that I did for the first time last year that I really loved was a mid-year goals check-in. We all set our goals back in January, but unfortunately, a lot of times they go unvisited for the entire year until it's the beginning of the next year, and we're like, wow, these goals are looking rough. So to avoid that, I like to do these mid-year check-ins where around June, which we're in June now, right before the halfway point of the year, I take a look at my yearly goals and I basically see what goals am I doing great at, what goals are in the green looking like I'm going to achieve them, what goals are in the red and need some TLC, and then what can I do to kind of create an action plan around those goals that are at risk. So I'll show you guys sort of the system that I created last year. We're going to be adapting something super similar for this year and just kind of chat about where I'm at with my yearly goals. I haven't been as consistent with monthly resets and monthly goals this year, so I'm curious to see if that will have an impact on how my yearly goals are looking. And it's interesting because I have a feeling this year my goals are going to kind of be swapped from last year. Last year I succeeded at a lot of my more like personal mindset lifestyle goals, but not on my like concrete YouTube goals and stuff. This year it's actually looking like I might achieve some of my like YouTube goals, which never happens, so I love that for me, and more of like my income and businessy type goals, but we might be lagging a little bit on the lifestyle stuff. So we'll see when we get into it, but that's how I'm feeling preemptively. So grab a drink of choice. I will have the template for this linked in the description if you want to do the same thing with your yearly goals. Yeah, and without further ado, let's get into it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm excited to take a look at this. I haven't really given this a look in quite some months, so it'll be interesting to see where we're at. Okay, cheers. Let's do it. So this is the mid-year check-in template that I'm going to be using. This is pretty much exactly the template that I created last year, so I'll have that linked in the description. I still think it's really cute and I love it. So the first thing that we're going to do as part of this mid-year check-in is we're going to go through the goals and mark them as green, orange, or red. Green means the goal is on track or already accomplished. I'm set to achieve this goal, feeling really good about it. Orange means it's an at-risk goal, meaning I could achieve it, but it's going to need a little bit more attention in the second half of the year. And then red goals are ones that are unlikely and I really need to manage my expectations. And then at the bottom, I have this mid-year goal rescue section, which basically is to give my goals some much needed TLC, as it says here. So basically I'll list any at-risk goals that I have and then set a mid-year adjusted goal for those goals. And then I'll create some monthly goals for quarter 3 and quarter 4 to help me work through some of those at-risk goals. What I really love about this as well is that it allows me to just kind of take the goals that I'm on track for off of my plate, take the goals that I'm really not going to be able to achieve also off my plate, and just focus on that middle range of goals so that it's not overwhelming. I feel like I'm trying to rush to achieve all of these things. We can really pare it down and narrow our focus for the second half of the year. So that's the plan. I totally recommend doing this with your own annual goals and checking in for yourself. And if you do end up using this system or any part of this system, let me know down in the comments because I think that would be really sick. Okay, let's dive in. My full-time creative journey goals. So if you guys do not know, my goal is to eventually be able to go full-time working for myself in some creative capacity. Right now, that goal is pretty centered around writing and publishing books and the content that I can create around that. Continue diversifying and scaling multiple income streams, make non-job sources more substantial pieces of my income pie. Okay. And then I wanted to have 5+ income streams consistently by the end of the year. So the income streams are progressing very well, and this is something we will definitely dive into at the end of the year. Have they scaled like crazy? No, but am I successfully diversifying? Yes. I'm now getting monthly AdSense paychecks, which was a dream for so long, and it's finally at the point where I am getting paid out monthly from Google AdSense. So I feel confident saying that that is now a consistent income stream for me, which was not the case before. I recently just launched freelance services, so I have high hopes that once that starts to pick up a little bit, that will become hopefully a consistent income stream to add to the 5+ income streams consistently by the end of the year. So I'm feeling decently about that goal, but I do feel like they're not substantial pieces of my income pie yet. So I'm wondering if we mark this as orange because I want to pay attention to it and it's not quite like in the bag, or green because I do feel like I'm making real substantial progress. Let's mark it as orange for now because it's definitely something I want to continue to focus on and that I would like to maintain momentum with, but I am feeling pretty good about this. Definitely the most strides I've made in this goal since I started setting goals like this. So by the end of the year, make my income streams more consistent with monthly payouts and revenue. I do feel like I'm on track with this. Like I said, having Google AdSense as a monthly payout now is huge progress. So that feels really good. Get the writing channel monetized. We actually already achieved this. The writing channel is monetized. It's actually at over 2,000 subscribers now and doing really well. It's honestly the reason why I'm getting the monthly YouTube paychecks. So, I mean, that one is literally done. Finish writing my book and be ready to kickstart my self-publishing journey by the end of the year. Okay, well, we finished drafting the book. I'm currently working on revising the book, and if I stick to the writing schedule I have planned, that's gonna look pretty good. I mean, I'll still have some revising to do in 2025, but I will be ready to start thinking more about my cover and preparing for the self-publishing. So yeah, we're gonna mark that as green for on track as well. Grow my audience to 5K plus subscribers between both of my channels. Let's check my current stats on this. Where is my phone? Okay, we're pulling out the calculator. That's how you know it's serious. So the writing channel is definitely pulling its weight. It's currently sitting at 2,294 subscribers. And then this channel has honestly hardly grown since the beginning of the year, but I haven't really been focusing on it, so that's okay. Has at 2,654 subscribers, which means in total we're at 4,948 subscribers between the two channels, which means we only have to gain about 52 more subscribers to hit 5K between the two. So that's really exciting. I think it's safe to say that that goal is on track. And guys, if you've been here for years, you know how crazy this is, because usually I would set these insanely ambitious, totally unrealistic goals pertaining to YouTube and like this full-time creator goal. And so seeing how on track I am with these tells me two things. One, that it is going pretty well, but also two, that I was just a lot more realistic when setting these goals, and I set borderline safe goals with the exception of maybe the diversifying the income pie goal. And that just feels good, because actually being able to achieve these goals, even if I'm not achieving that much more than I had in a previous year, the fact that I'm achieving what I set out for myself is going to give me such a boost of confidence and motivation and make it feel like I'm succeeding, even if the metrics are not that different. By the end of the year, I'll be taking on sponsorships regularly, one time per month. So I'll be honest, I've been putting not a ton of effort into getting sponsorships. I've done one and I've reached out to a couple other brands, but nothing has stuck yet. It's kind of hard, honestly, from the creator perspective to secure sponsorships for yourself, mainly because it's really difficult to find the right person to reach out to at a specific brand. So it is a little bit hard. Could I be putting a little more effort in? Yes, but I also know that any effort I'm putting towards growing my channel, which I am obviously doing, is going to ultimately make it easier for me to acquire sponsorships. So honestly, it's really hard for me to know whether or not this goal is even possible, but I'm gonna mark it as orange for now because I'm not giving it a lot of attention and I definitely don't think it's in the bag. But it's still possible, if I continue to grow, that by the end of the year I'll be doing one a month. That feels like a very reasonable frequency. Okay. So full-time creative journey, honestly looking pretty good. We have no red, we have a couple orange, but mostly green. I'm feeling great about that. Okay, fitness and wellness. Now, I'm gonna be so serious. This is not going as I had thought. And the reason that it is because I'm still dealing with some stupid health stuff from last year that is making it hard for me to be fitness focused in the way that I foresaw being fitness focused. I'm not lifting weights, I'm not doing crazy Pilates workout classes, but I am staying really consistent with the physical therapy that I'm supposed to be doing and finding ways to be active in lower impact ways, which I'm very proud of myself for, and that is quite literally all that I can do at the moment because I don't want to push my body and re-injure myself. With all that being said, these goals might be looking a little bit rough, but it is truly just because I'm not in the place that I thought I was going to be at this point, and I need to be like so gracious with myself about that because it sucks that I'm having to deal with this injury for so long, but at the same time there's not anything I can do besides what I am doing, which is doing my physical therapy and like trying to make responsible choices around it. So yeah, with that being said, maintain being a fitness girl and find a new go-to workout studio in Seattle. I mean, I still feel like I'm being a fitness girl in my own way at the moment. Like I still feel like I'm someone who is prioritizing my health a lot and being very disciplined with it. I don't know. I'm gonna put this goal as orange because quite frankly, I don't even know how to feel about it. Eat more energizing foods that make you feel good and be mindful of what your body needs. I really feel like I've been improving my diet. Actually, this year I've learned quite a bit about just like nutrition and stuff, and I'm really trying to prioritize more protein and salad and decreasing my sugar intake. So that all feels really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this as a green thing. I'm also trying to be more mindful of what my body needs, making sure I'm eating enough but not overeating, those sorts of things. Find mindful practices that work for me and find chunks of time to slow down and unplug. Okay, I think I'm getting better at this. I don't feel like I'm knocking it out of the park, but I do feel like an effort is being made. Something that I've been doing a lot more since the beginning of the year is like gratitude lists. Specifically, my mom and I have a little routine now where we send each other 3 things we're grateful for in the morning, and that has been a great regular mindful practice that I'm participating in. I've also been doing a little bit more yoga, which feels like a mindful practice. And in terms of slowing down and unplugging, I'm trying to be more mindful of my relationship with my phone. I think I should have explicitly set a goal about my relationship with my phone, because that is just something that is it's such a core part of being mindful to me is reducing screen time. But I want to put this as orange because it's something that I want to continue to pay attention to and something that I want to continue to prioritize. Get abs. It's not looking great, bestie. I'm gonna go ahead and make that red. In terms of the slowing down and unplugging thing, I think, I guess I just want to work on intentionally setting aside that time, in the sense of like, let's light a candle, let's put some lo-fi with a scenic view up on the TV and just like maybe read a book or work on my own book, like do some writing, and leave my phone in the kitchen. Like mindful times like that where I'm like, for the next however many hours, I'm just gonna let myself get lost in this thing and ignore the world around me, forget about how much time is passing or stressing about that, and just enjoy. Even yesterday I was watching a movie and I had to continuously remind myself not to stress about, oh, how much time is passing? Like, am I spending too much time watching this movie? Even though I was really enjoying it and it was like such a fun thing for me to do with myself, you know, quality me time. I just kept having this guilt that came up. So I want to remind myself in times like that, hey, this is literally part of your yearly goals. Like, it is okay to take this time. Let's slow it down. All right. Let's unplug a little bit and just let myself enjoy some dates with myself, you know, which perfectly segues into the next section of our goals, which is romanticizing my life, which is actually also my theme for the year. So the first goal is milk everything for what it's worth, practice gratitude, and indulge in everything your current life has to offer, your home, your neighborhood, and where you're at in your journey. Okay, I think I'm doing decently with this. Like I said, gratitude has definitely been something that I'm working on more, noticing small things, whether it's how I love making my strawberry milk every day, or like my favorite cups that I have, or just expressing gratitude for where I live and being able to walk to things that I enjoy, romanticizing my daily walk to get a pastry or a coffee or something. I think I'm doing decently at this. We're gonna mark it orange just because I want to continue paying attention to it, and I don't want to be like, well, got that in the bag, don't need to think about romanticizing my life. No. Especially going into the summer, which is like gonna be my last few months in Los Angeles. So sad, at least for the time being. I might be back. I just want to make sure I really soak it in and just try my best to enjoy where I live because it's so nice. Read 12 plus books this year. This was such a fun goal. I'm gonna continue setting reading goals because they're just fun. They don't stress me out and they feel, at least the way that I set them, they always feel achievable. I'm definitely on track to do this. I think I've read, I don't know actually. Should we check my reading dashboard thing? Brielle's bookshelf. Okay, I've already read 9 books this year, so I'm 3/4 of the way through my goal. Honestly, I read a 4-book series very quickly and that really helps to bump up that number. So I definitely think that that's on track. And I think I can set a much more ambitious reading goal next year, though I don't want to turn it into a hard to reach thing because I like this just being an easy goal on my list, you know? Indulge in high quality me time, taking myself on dates, extravagant self-care, time alone without distractions. I could really use some work on this. I don't want to mark it red because it's not like I think it's impossible at this point, but I think it needs to be orange. I'm not very good about the taking myself on dates part, and it's a little difficult right now because my boyfriend and I are sharing a car now, so I can't like drive myself somewhere if he is working or using the car, so that causes quite a little bit of difficulty because when he works, I'm off generally. That being said, I do a great job of taking myself on coffee shop dates. Extravagant self-care could use some work. I really struggle, honestly, with taking enough time to take care of myself. Even like doing my hair and makeup can sometimes feel like a huge daunting task, even though I do see that as self-care, and like looking after my appearance is something that I really value. So yeah, it could use some work. We are making an effort. One cannot deny that I'm making an effort. We're gonna continue to prioritize that. Celebrate all the small wins and take more intentional breaks. Honestly, I've maybe gotten worse at celebrating the small wins this year. In the past, I would get myself cakes when I hit milestones on YouTube. Have not been doing a great job of that this year. I mean, I achieved some really incredible things. Like I finished writing my book and I hit 1,000 subscribers on the writing channel and then 2,000 subscribers on the writing channel. And I didn't really do celebrations for myself for any of those things as far as I can remember, which I don't love. Maybe I like bought a book, but nothing like as sweet and romanticized as like buying a cake. And I also have not been great about taking intentional breaks. I feel like I get stressed out when I'm not on the content grind. You know, I never want to go too long without uploading, blah, 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 because I'm so set on wanting to grow. And so taking a break always just feels like I'm delaying my dreams, I guess, which I don't love that mindset. So I could really use some work on this. We're gonna mark it orange. Again, not impossible, but something that I need to focus on. Personal and lifestyle. Cultivate more discipline and differentiate between work and leisure to feel less scatterbrained. I do think I've been doing a better job of being focused when I'm working a little bit, though what I never do, honestly, is set a time where I'm like, okay, I'm done being productive now. We're gonna literally relax, or I never give myself like an evening off on the weekends. Like sometimes I'll go to social plans, but it's never like a self-imposed, okay, hey, we're done working for now. I feel like I always try to like cram productivity into every possible available spot because my time is so limited throughout the week due to having a full-time job. I don't know. Am I making progress on this? My brain is like fried right now. Cultivate more discipline and differentiate between work and leisure to feel less scatterbrained. I mean, that's so unconcrete. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves with how I set these goals, and I hate to say it, is that because a lot of them were more so intentions, it does not feel concrete enough. I'm like, what does that actually look like? Is that putting the phone out of the room? Is that time blocking leisure time? Like, I wish I had come up with more clear action steps for that, and maybe I should have just set the goal of leave my phone out of the room, like something more specific, you know what I mean? I do feel like I'm more disciplined, or trying to be more disciplined. I don't know. We're gonna put it as orange, as we do when I'm like genuinely not sure how a goal is going. Continue pouring into relationships that feel good through encouraging words, hyping up accomplishments and gestures, gifts, showing up, etc. Okay, I think I'm doing pretty good with my relationships this year. I feel good about the type of friend that I'm being. I feel like I'm really good at like encouraging and cheering on my friends, not to toot my own horn, but I do think I'm good at that. I feel like I give a lot of words of affirmation to my friends and hype up their accomplishments and encourage them to like do the things they want to do. Gestures, maybe not as much. I do feel like I show up for my friends though, or at least I very much try to. The friends that I'm like committed to, you know, like actually building a relationship with, not like auxiliary friends that I can't be bothered. I'm just being so honest. This is interesting. I'm gonna mark it as green because I do think we're doing a good job. It hasn't really looked like gifts, but sometimes I like treat my friends when we like go out for a meal or something, or to a drink or something, like coffee. I do that fairly often, I feel. Low stress lifestyle. Actively make decisions that minimize my stress and become someone who is on time, prepared, and put together. This has to be orange for sure, because while overall I would say like I get tripped up less over things, you know, it takes more to stress me out now than maybe it used to, which I think is great. I think for the most part I'm a pretty level-headed individual that doesn't have a ton of stress in their life, which is again great. And I have been less of a procrastinator, which has helped to reduce my stress, but being on time, still something that I struggle with quite a bit. It's definitely gotten a little bit better recently, but it's not something that comes to me easily. It's probably one of the ways that I am the least put together, I guess. So something that I need to work on. Prioritize putting time and effort into my appearance and indulging in self-care practices for my hair, skin, and body. Honestly, not doing that great on this. I was so insanely good at this my senior year, spring. One could ask where that was coming from. I think I'm more secure in myself now. And at the time, I very much was fixated on being pretty, and even just looking back at how I acted in that time, you could just see the insecurity that was really there, even though I was taking great care of my appearance and probably looked one of my best, you know. But that being said, like, here I am, I'm getting my nails done, I did my hair and makeup today. The effort is being made a tiny bit, but I would love to do more like face masks, taking the time to actually use my like gua sha tool that I have and never use, my ice roller. Like, I have all these little things that I've bought, a little scalp treatment. Like, I would love to take a little more time for that and actually take the time to like style my hair daily. It feels like a lot of work sometimes, and I just need to reframe it as a self-care thing and something that's like slowing down, taking some time to myself, focusing on myself, pouring into myself. So definitely something I want to continue working on. And then financial health, do regular check-ins and you approach your finances with TLC and awareness. We are not doing well with this at all. But I'm not gonna mark it red because I don't want to just throw in the towel on something like this. This is not like a subscriber goal that I could just be like, well, oh well, not gonna happen. This is something that I need to improve at. So okay, so we only have one red, but we have quite a bit of orange. And unsurprisingly, a lot of it is in the more mindfulness lifestyle areas as I anticipated, versus the full-time creative journey is looking decent. So with all of that being said, let's break down some of my at-risk goals and some of my unlikely goals and see what we can do. So first off, we only have the one unlikely goal, so let's just put that in here. So get abs. Let's make an adjusted goal to just start incorporating more core exercises and cardio. Back in pandemic times, I actually really loved doing dance workouts, and that was something that really transformed my fitness levels. It was very low barrier to entry, non-intimidating, and I really enjoyed it, and it was easy to just do at home. So I think I want to start doing those again, and then just doing some simple core exercises on my yoga mat, some crunches, things like that, to start rebuilding the core strength that I had like a year ago when I was doing a lot more Pilates, because that was a lot of core work. So then we can delete these because that was the only unlikely goal, which is great. And then let's focus on just a couple of the orange goals to really like take action on. So the continue diversifying and scaling multiple income streams. I feel like I'm already doing a lot to work on that, having just launched my freelance services. And I think I just need to like let that ride and continue to kind of promote it and refine it and stuff. So I'm not going to focus on that in terms of goals that we're going to set. The sponsorships thing, do we want to focus on it? Or do we just want to wait for them to come to me? I don't know. Let's take the find mindful practices that work for me goal, because that's something that I feel like we are starting to work on. Milk everything for what it's worth is another goal that we can focus on for the rest of the year. The regular money check-ins, because I really need to do that. I just think I set a few too many goals, guys. Learnings for next year. Your goal setting strategy is never going to be perfect. You can swing too far one way, too far the other way. Let's do the high quality me time one. I'm feeling good about that one. And that can kind of also include the indulgent self-care. Although, is that pretty much the same thing as milk everything for what it's worth? No, okay, we're going to stick with that. We're going to do those four as our focuses. So July, maybe we focus on the finances piece. Let's just like really pare it down. So weekly money check-ins, and actually look at your finances at the appropriate times, because sometimes a month will finish and I don't actually look over my expenses for weeks, when really I should be doing that right at the end of the month, even though it's a little bit of work, and then I don't set up my budget properly at the beginning of the month. I'm not looking at my expenses throughout the month. It just gets really messy. So let's focus on that in July. And then mindful practices, let's just say stay consistent with gratitude practices. This can be just the text with my mom, very simple, or it can be voice memoing myself a gratitude list, which I really enjoy doing. Any sort of simple gratitude practice. Instead of trying to think about mindfulness on like a big scale, let's just narrow it down to the gratitude for now, and then we can build, you know? Okay, August, we want to continue the weekly money check-ins. Again, stay consistent with gratitude practices, because I feel like I need to nail that into my daily routine, and it can be very simple. Plan proper me dates for leisure. So that could be reading, watching a movie. It doesn't need to be anything extravagant. Going to the park. I took myself on a picnic date the other day that was so fun. I just went over to the park with strawberries, cheese and crackers, and a book, and that was really good. So picnics, yeah. Me dates. Okay, my camera died and it's literally at 0.01%, so we're gonna try to wrap this up. So I made a goal in August to get out and about in LA, since that'll be our last full month in LA, and moved plan proper me dates for leisure up to July, because in August my boyfriend's gonna be quitting his job to take the month off. I'll probably have more opportunities for me dates in July before that, since once he's off of work I won't have as much solo time, you know. Of course I'll still make sure I have some solo time, but yeah. And then September onward I'm gonna be moving, so I don't really know what my lifestyle will look like then, so it feels a little silly to try and set those goals, especially since with the moving chaos I'm sure routine and stuff will be thrown off. So I think we're just gonna stick with the July and August goals for now, and then continue to set monthly goals as usual. But overall, am I like, wow, I'm killing my yearly goals? No, but are they looking decent? yeah, and I feel like I'm at least making progress towards a lot of these things, even if I'm not nailing those more difficult to change lifestyle pieces, which, let's be honest, those are the hardest things to change. Trying to really act like a different person in your life and switch up your priorities, you know, make sure that you're taking time for yourself. All these things do not come easily. They're not overnight switches. So I want to be patient with myself on that, but continue to just have these as intentions. And they are all things that I'm very aware of in my day-to-day life, not even just because I set them as yearly goals, but because they're things that I know I want in my life, you know? So I do feel like I'm being intentional about these things and they are top of mind, which is great. So gonna keep working on these. I hope you guys enjoyed this little mid-year goals check-in. I'm loving this template still. If you want the template, like I said, it'll be linked down below. If you did this exercise or looked at your yearly goals with me, let me know how you're doing on them down in the comments. And just a reminder that regardless of how your yearly goals are looking, you're doing great. I'm proud of you regardless. Just the fact that you're even trying to set goals is great. Sometimes it takes some time to really learn how to set realistic, good, concrete goals. As you can see, I have some beef with my goal setting strategy, even after doing this for multiple years. So yeah, be kind to yourself. Goals are just to help us not to turn into a self-criticizing thing, you know? Anyway, I'm wishing you guys a great rest of 2024 and I'll see you soon with my mid-year reading wrap-up video, which I'm really excited to film. Happy June and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!